Right, I'm on the road to max rank. What do I have left? Chompers. Do I like playing as them? Do I like fighting against them? I don't think chompers are necessarily the worst thing in the world. That award goes to the pea shooters, but they're a whole nother story of camp. Thing is, I actually quite like the look of the chompers. The gameplay, not so much. Even though some are good and some are bad, mostly all around the board they aren't that good. So today, I'm not only going to give my opinions on each chomper by ranking them on a tier list, but also ranking their designs at the same time. And without further ado, this is the bullshit I had to say. Obviously, if you disagree with my opinion, just comment or something. What do you prefer?
Okay, let's go.
Right. We have our 2 tier lists. We've got one for the characters and how they play, and one for how they look. Shout out to Sir Musty, I have this idea from his Mario Kart series. 2-in-1 meal deal. Alright, so let's go. Armor Chomper, you don't even need to tell me why he's an F tier. The reason he's an F tier, I think many people in this community have already said it. I'm never going to be the first person to say it for this character alone. Yes, he is 215 to 225 health, but he moves at the pace of the immortal snail. Do you remember that thing? Yeah. Low speed and high health isn't funny, PopCap. Armor Chomper, yeah, he does good damage, and yeah, it's a chomper, so you've got the bullshit goop burp spikeweed, but it's no. Look at him. Look at this little piece of shit down here.
Look at his face. Dumb little face.
Stop.
PopCap, do better. In terms of looks,
Get the hell out! Get out!
Chester Chomper, you know what? Chester begins with C, we'll put him in C tier. In the first Garden Warfare, I don't really play him. I don't think I've played him more than once. The cheesy abilities are funny looking, but because yes, it does more damage, but it doesn't slow them down, which is the point of Goop. To me, it's not really a fair trade-off. As a Chomper, oh, he's practically the same as Reg Chomper, so. In terms of looks, he's going up to the land of the beauty contestant with his It Ain't Easy Being Cheesy sunglasses and his shiny teeth. Reg Chomper, you know what? He's not bad. It's the exact same as Chester Chomper, but without the cheese. So for that, I'm putting him in D. It's a chomper. What more do you want me to say? In terms of looks, I mean, look at him. He's just purple. Actually, I like purple. I'll put a purple. Chomp Ting. This should have been the toxic chomper of this game. That I fucking hate toxic chomper so much, he's going in F as well. But Chomp Ting is cool, okay? Because yes, he regenerates health slightly quicker, and his HP is some wacky number like 135 or something. PopCap just took a random number between 100 and 200. They picked that and they went, yeah, that'll do. He does, I mean, he actually does less damage than toxic chomper, but he doesn't overheat as quickly. A tier. I love this chomper. He should have been the toxic chomper, not toxic chomper. In terms of looks, even though like toxic chomper, he's green. The textures and just the overall design, being a reference to that DC character Swamp Thing, makes this chomper one of the best in the entire game. Count Chompula. I know that there's some Count Chompula Andes out there who would put this guy in S tier, but I don't. I find him so boring. Yes, you get your health back on a burrow or a swallow. Yeah, cool. Big thumbs up from the I don't care community. I just find him so boring to play. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because you have to rely on being sneaky, because if you go in for a suicide chomp, you're not getting your health back because you're dead before you can even swallow the damn thing. If there's like 2 or more zombies, you're not getting anything done with any of these chompers. It's just, chomper overall is such an annoying class to play. Not to fight against. To fight against is fine. Just use superhero, a soldier, an engineer. But it's just, oh man, I really don't like them. Put Chomp Ting in A tier because for a chomper is A tier. On a tier list of every character, he's like C. F tier chompers are just F tier all around. So I don't care what anyone says to me. They just are. In terms of looks, the colours being mainly black and red, you know, vampire, really helps his character stick out, while in game doesn't actually help at all, just makes you easier to be seen from across the map. Glowing healing effect upon swallowing a zombie really adds to this character's design and makes him one of the most appealing plants in existence. Like, look at the veins, look at the teeth, look at the saliva being orangey blood. Doesn't that just stick out more compared to the only other vampiric character being Vampire Flower, who honestly just looks emo goth more than vampire? Count Chompula is going to stick comfortably in S tier because look at him, he's red and veiny like a penis. Disco Chomper. To pack him thinking I got a legendary, I'd put him in F tier because there shouldn't be a legendary chomper, but as a chomper he's probably one of the best ones because he does good damage. I think it's between 30 and 33. He's a legendary mode, making him move really quick. If you watch Wolfie plays, you know that his mode is certainly something. So as a character, there's nothing really I can say. He's actually quite good for a chomper. In terms of looks, don't think he's as cool as the others. Yeah, he's disco related, but not really a fan of the fact that he's smooth as a bollock, and now he's got the little flat. This stem being disco tars is cool. I mean, he's still pretty cool. Fire Chomper. Sorry, I fell asleep trying to think of something to talk about. He's like Toxic Chomper, except it's fire damage. So I mean, if anyone's wondered why the only 3 spray chompers so far I put in F, D, and then fucking A, because the other spray chompers have elemental abilities, which you kind of expect a spray chomper to have. A spray chomper with no elemental type ability, basically toxic, ice, fire. His gimmick being the health regen allows you to get a kill, pussy away, and then get another one, basically at full health. He's basically like a mini version of Chompula, except he's actually fun to play. To me, anyway. Just to avoid pissing people off, I'll put him in B. I don't know. My opinion is very unbased, okay? When it comes to the design of Fire Chomper, though, I mean, it's not really leaving much to the imagination here, is it? It's honestly just the same as regular Chomper, but just he's heated up. He looks like he's been set on fire, sure. But it almost just kind of looks like he's not being set on fire, rather he becomes one with the fire, you know? Where he's not burning, he's burning. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like he withstands the fire and can control it, rather than is set on fire and burning. And the color scheme being a desaturated yellowish red, and the goop looking similar to Count Chompula, just not really as cool. I don't think they did a good job with Fire Chomper. I mean, in Garden Warfare 1, it looked way more vibrant, but alas, in Garden Warfare 2, he's not so good. They just dipped them in a sauce, dipped them in some hot sauce and said, yeah, here you go. Now, the drug cartel leader and his hot rod chomper is obviously in it. Bites the quickest, runs the quickest, burrows the quickest, digests the quickest, and goes speed. So, S tier. And in terms of looks, PopCap wanted to make a super rare variant of the Chomper and make him faster than the others, while compensating for his lower health by giving him an air scoop on top of the Chomper's head, referencing, you know, hot rod cars, while also making gloss black color with these purple hot rod flames. They kind of indicate that he looks like, you know, a car with these exhaust fumes on his neck and the oil dripping out of his mouth with his reflective gums, you know, indicating like a car door with some reflective tinted glass. Also having hot rod flames on his feet, I guess. Basically, you give him a black and purple glossy paint job, which honestly, do I think he's top 10? Not really. It's only 2 colors. So I don't really think it's the best thing, but for a speed-based character, I think it's the best design they could have gone for. So I give PopCap praise for that. Hey, just wanted to say, if you made it to this point in the video, big up you lot, because these videos take a while as I'm, well, busy at this point of recording. So I thank you all seriously for tuning in and watching these. If the video from this point onwards seems a little funky or out of place to the first half, I kind of lost the second half of the recording, but I still agree with my original takes and I'll still go over them, just in case anyone gets a little confused on the format of this video or the mic quality being a little different. I have a shit mic. But that's all from editing me. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of this, then let's get back into rating this little racist on fire. Our last spray chomper is the power chomper, and honestly, to me, is one of the most underrated chompers ever. His damage is higher than every other spray chomper, because he doesn't have any elemental damage ability. Yes, he has the power effect, which can chain lightning off of multiple zombies, which is severely underrated in itself. The difference with him, Fire, and Toxic Chomper is that while he actually does more damage, he doesn't have the 2 damage over time of Toxic damage, and the 5 damage Fire, which means that his overall time to kill can be slower of flames or toxify them with the other 2 respective spray chompers. But with how long it actually takes Power Chomper to overheat, to me, he's always been one of my top picks for chompers. I think elementally wise, Power is definitely the weakest, as it has no damage over time or no effects. All it does is spread damage to other people, other than Toxic that does damage over time, which spreads to people. So I actually think Power Chomper is severely underrated. The way he looks, I'm not a fan of this. In Garden Warfare 1, it looked like lightning was caught within his body. You can see the lightning within his dark base color of his skin. He was dark blue and almost dark purplish, and he looked very, very nice. And in Garden Warfare 2, most of the electric characters got brightness with their blue skin tone. So Power Chomper really in Garden Warfare 2 doesn't look anywhere near as nice as he does in Garden Warfare 1. He doesn't really look like he should be a power character almost. He looks semitone between ice and like plasma. They did change the bottom part of his body, changing it from what was originally a regular Chomper with just an electric head to being fully blue, which honestly doesn't work as well. So I really don't think Power Chomper looks too great, but he's still nice. He's still a nice looking chomper with just a straight base color. He's just completely blue, so I can't fully hate it. So he's going in the alright tier. Right, we get to the last 3 chompers of the list. These 3 being the 3 most unique chompers in the entire game. To start, we'll go over the hardest chomper to unlock out of all of them. Unicorn Chomper. To actually unlock this character, and I'm not counting playing the Town Hall because everybody gets that character for free, you have to get to rank 313 in the first guard morphin, which if you play that game, you know the horrors of trying to level up in that. I mean, you could always just, you know, use money to purchase packs to get a shit ton of skip challenge stars, but I mean, who are you impressing doing that? Unicorn Chomper and a certain other Chomper are different to the other ones I've listed, because although you have Bite, Swallow, Goop, and Spikeweed, you don't have Burrow as this Chomper. What you do have in a substitute is Rainbow Warp, which, like the Scientist, you get 2 warps able to go further than you'd usually be able to go, which can be used to actually catch zombies off guard or chase them down. This on a Chomper is actually really effective, as because Chomper's a close range character, getting up close to the zombies is basically a must. So it's better than just going towards them faster with Burrow. Even though you're invulnerable in Burrow, and you're not when you're teleporting, it is still better to get that quick grasp of speed rather than to slowly get closer to them. So for that, I'm gonna just simply put Unicorn Chomper in A tier. Although it's just like having an average Chomper, just with the teleport. And in terms of looks, have you ever played Peggle? You know that main guy who always comes up to you? And he's like, yeah, it's that guy. Repost if you're a true Pegger. When it comes to looks, yeah, practically the same as Bjorn from Peggle. This is just like a Easter egg character, I guess. Like PopCap made this character and they was expecting us to play the game and be like, oh my god, it's a unicorn. I see it. I get that. It's a joke. Basically just being Chomper, except has horn, hair, likes other male chompers, likes men, sucks toe. The little rainbow threads coming off of the stem really give off that, you know, unicorn spirit, if you will. Having the tongue being rainbow as well and having more horse-related teeth, it's really stupid looking, but you know what? You can't hate it. It's a unicorn chomper. Come on. This guy is going into A. Usually this would be the point where I talk about our last chomper, but after covering Unicorn, I forgot that PopCap added Unicorn's sibling to the game, and well, the Twilight Chomper is practically just a reskin of the Unicorn Chomper, except for one crucial difference. Instead of having 2 Pride Month warps, it has 1 Emo warp, which travel twice the distance, and that's f***ing it. Wow. And apparently also runs as quick as Hot Rod Chomper. I'm not too sure about that. I believe I do the same damage as Disco Chomper. Why this was the last DLC character into this game, who knows? But look, that means we got a whopping 4 chompers in this game. Hallelujah. Yeah. Even though it is, you know, lazy, he's somehow one of the stupidest chompers. Just like the speed bonus and damage boost like I mentioned, and this 1 warp that makes you travel twice as far as the Rainbow Warp, makes him so much better for flanking and getting behind the zombies. Even though Twilight Chomper was such a random addition to the game and we've already got Unicorn Chomper, I think Twilight marginally outshine compared to Unicorn. Unicorn's fine, but not many people have Unicorn. Twilight, most people got them for free. Not me though. I forgot to get them. So a last Twilight Chomper is going in S tier alongside Hot Rod Chomper. Now with the Twilight Chomper's design, compared to Unicorn Chomper, which you think unicorns, you think bright, sunny, cupcake and rainbows, all that jazz. You look at Twilight Chomper and you think, it feels like Twilight Chomper watched all of Twilight and based its whole personality around it. And when it comes to looks, do I think this Chomper looks bad? No, but compared to Unicorn Chomp, the colors do not fit the unicorn aesthetic, even though I actually don't mind the color scheme. Just on a unicorn design, it does not fit. So I'm going to put him in the bruh tier. Now we move on to our very last Chomper. What the frick is this? The Yeti Chomper is this class's ice variant. How does an ice Chomper work? Well, he's ranged. Let me just say that again for the people in the back. This guy is a ranged Chomper. Now, that may sound like that's probably the most busted thing ever. It's really not. Chomper being ranged, in theory, seems quite good, as you're able to not only one-shot people, you're able to slow zombies down from a further distance by spitting. That seems really good in theory, but in execution, this is the most awkward character to play. His base damage is 35, which is the same as a reg pea shooter, I believe, and he shoots at a pace of 1.5 spits per second. The projectile only lasts 2.5 seconds in the air before self-destructing. It will slowly freeze zombies until they're fully immobilized, making swallow kills actually easier to get. The only problem is, to actually hit somebody, you have to look up at a 45-degree angle, meaning you can't even look at the opponent you're trying to spit at. You know, isn't impossible, but like, problem is that it's so inconsistent and unreliable at times that you might as well just go up and just act as he's a shotgun, as the freeze impact damage is quicker than splashing people, because trust me, you ain't hitting shots with this guy from range. It's like the engineer's weapon, how it slowly goes downwards and then explodes mid-range. See, like, in theory this chomper could be the best one, but he's not. He's probably tied for the middle because he's ice. So I'm gonna put this guy, I'm just gonna put him here. Boy, the final time I get to talk about Chomper and its looks. Thank Christ. Alright, so what do I actually think about the look of this Chomper? I mean, yeah. Ever watched Monsters, Inc?
Welcome to the Himalaya.
Yeah, there you go. Blue lips, frozen teeth. You know, it's not the most original thing in the world. How many times can you design a Yeti without taking the Yeti in the game already and then just plastering that on a Chomper? He actually looks kind of different, especially with his not completely frozen but his almost frostbite stem. The icicles hanging off his lips making it look like a grown beard because his fur is cool. Overall, I think this guy's kind of meh, to be honest. I mean, he looks good. It's just, I've nothing to say, you know? Like, I'm looking at the concept art here, and this would have been such a better design, but it's not really a Yeti, so they fit the design of the name well, but just design-wise, I'm gonna have to put this guy in B tier with Power Chomper. I mean, they both look cool. Pun intended. They look alright. Nothing too spectacular. Well, wowee, look at those two lists. I sure hope everybody agrees and definitely doesn't scalp me for having probably the worst and most stupid taste in design and play-wise for the most amazing playable character on the Plants team. Yeah!